Hello and hey, Mr. Round with Baldur's Gate 3. So you want to be a wizard? You some kind of nerd? Me too. Let's dive in. Wizards are students of magic, living their lives drawn by the lure of knowledge and power, in search of secrets thought lost to the ages, discovery at their fingertips. And that's why we'll be taking our first level of Sorcerer. If you're starting a new character, it doesn't literally have to be your first level, but we will want to end up like this, and I will present it as such. Our build will focus on getting hit a lot, and we want that. Not going to be some 50 AC Gigatank, instead letting our enemies hit us and dishing it back several times over. At first level, we get to choose our Sorceress origin. We will be going Draconic with the White Dragon Ancestor. This gives us access to an important spell, Armor of Agathys. I've heard that pronounced about 17 different ways. I've always known it as Armor of Agathys, so that's how I'll be pronouncing it going forward, even if it turns out to be wrong. Sliding over to attributes, we will be dumping Charisma as a heads up. That's why starting with it on a brand new character probably won't be a good time, but if you're up for a respec once we have our wizard levels rolling, feel free, switch around int and Charisma until then. However, our stat line will read 8 Strength, 14 Dexterity, 16 Constitution, 16 Intelligence, 12 Wisdom, and 8 Charisma. With so many levels in the D6 hit die classes, we'll take all the HP we can get. Intelligence will be our main spellcasting stat eventually, so we'll be powering that up at every possibility, and then 12 Wisdom is somewhat important for having spells prepared a bit later on. Do what you wish with Strength, Dex, and Charisma. Our goal is to be hit with this build, so Dex can actually work against us, who'd have thought that was possible, but going last isn't fun either, so do what you want. Knowing that we are dumping Charisma, our Sorcerer spells should be utility or ones that don't require attack rolls or saving throws. Things like Magic Missile, Featherfall, or Shield for when we've taken too many hits already. Level 2 will stick with Sorcerer for the showcase. Get Meta Magic already, love that. We will be taking Twin Spell and Extended Spell. We have some designs on keeping enemies with unsavable conditions, so this character will pair really well with a Tempest Domain Sorcerer build if that tips you off to where we're going. The spell choice is up to you. Level 3, we get a second level spell. I like Misty Step for this. And we also get another meta magic option. You can make a case for a lot of these, but Quicken Spell is just so objectively good, we have to have it. Character level 4, we will finally move to the class that's in the thumbnail and title. Sorcerer is nice. It's versatility in a game where you can cast as many leveled spells in a turn as you have slots, actions, and bonus actions. It's just too good to pass up. And the first level con save proficiency fits so well. Again, if we're leveling from scratch, don't think Sorcerer is the play. Stick with several levels of Wizard, but people will get on me thinking that I don't expect you to respec back into first level of Sorcerer, so this is just the last time I'll mention that bit. Like I was saying, Wizard 1, we get a bevy of spells, choose your favorites. You probably already have Shield from Sorcerer, but that for some reason does not highlight as something you already know in-game, just a heads up. I like a Chromatic Orb or Tasha's Hideous Laughter, the things that want attack rolls or spell saves, those types. Character level 5, we're going a lot of Wizard in a row, 8 levels of it to be exact, just heads up. But at Wizard 2, we get our subclass. For this build, we need the Abjuration School. This grants us an Arcane Ward that has been nicely buffed in Baldur's Gate 3, and works like this. We'll say that we have 2 charges or stacks, whatever you prefer to think them as, of Arcane Ward. If we take any damage, we'll say 10 piercing damage as an arbitrary number. It can be anything. Our Arcane Ward will automatically reduce that damage by 2, the number of stacks we have, so our character ends up taking 8 damage, and then the Arcane Ward stacks are reduced by 1. So if we take another 10 damage hit right after, we would take 9 damage and have no more stacks of Arcane Ward. The maximum number of stacks you can have is equal to twice your wizard level, and you gain stacks 1 when you take a long rest. You will awaken with a number of stacks equal to your wizard level, half of the maximum. Clarifying example, a 6th level wizard wakes up with 6 and can have a maximum of 12. And you can recharge or fill up your pool by casting Abjuration spells. Now, there aren't that many of those in the game, but I will be guiding you to them as we level up, and we actually already have an important one in Armor of Agathys. If we cast Armor of Agathys at first level, we gain 1 charge, but if we upcast to second level, we'll gain 2 charges. It is based off the spell slot used, not the spell's original level. And you'll gain charges equal to it, provided that you don't go over the level's maximum, but even then, you'll just be left at maximum. At Wizard 3, you get second level spells, pick your preferences, utility, damage, control, it's completely up to you. Next level, Wizard 4, we finally get a feat. We will keep it super simple and boost intelligence by 2 up to 18. Wizard 5, we receive third level spells. I will stop to point out Glyph of Warding as a helpful Abjuration spell, helping us boost our Arcane Ward with a spell that we want to use, can do damage, or even CC. It's just perfect for this build. Outside of that, pick what you like. At Wizard 6, our Arcane Ward can be used as a reaction to protect our allies, and with 6 levels in Wizard, that can be quite significant. Subtracting something like 11 from a damage roll, you're going to notice that. At Wizard 7, there are a couple of 4th level spells I'd like to draw your attention to, as they will be a focus for us. Stone Skin, which is an Abjuration spell that grants resistance to non-magical physical damage, does require our concentration, but does not functionally have a duration, can go into long rest unless the concentration is broken. And Fire Shield, which gives us resistance to either fire or cold, and does 2d8 damage of the opposite damage type to our melee attackers. I'll also mention Banish while we're here, as it is a useful combat spell that is in the Abjuration school. Wizard 8, we get our second feat, and while you can definitely make a case for several options, we're just going to pump our intelligence to 20. Big smart. And for character level 12, I've landed on Tempest Cleric. Gives us access to all armors, which, while we want to be hit, helmets, gloves, and boot flexibility is amazing in a game with so many powerful items. Obviously, the armor isn't the only draw. We get access to Create or Destroy Water, a healing spell, and can use our reaction to deal 2d8 thunder or lightning damage to nearby attackers, fitting in with our goal and theme. There are many options though. Using our temp HP resistance combo during something like Rage from a Barbarian or Wild Shape from Druid is very tempting, and another option you could multi-class into. Each of those restricts what we can actually do on a turn, however, since even the bear's goading attack will sometimes just not affect goaded enemies, and they'll hit someone else even though they have a clear target at you. And I say all that just to say that my 12 level multi-class is not the only way to get this combo rolling, but I really like what I have shown for its flexibility, how quickly you can get through its setup phase, and how much damage it ends up making enemies do to themselves. It's kind of funny, just a different way to play, and I enjoy it. We'll get an example solo combat up on screen. There's going to be a big problem with being stuck in place in this fight between the ensnare and maim conditions, limiting how much we can use one of the best tools in our toolbox in triggering opportunity attacks. This game is smart. It sees you with your big armor of Agathis, that you have resistance to non-magical physical damage, and a lot of times just won't try to hit you because of it. But it's not that smart. If you can trigger an opportunity attack, it seems to always go for it. So while I'd love to sonic my way through a bunch of enemies taking themselves out, it is important to note that it absolutely will be shut down in a solo situation by the plentiful CC the game can provide. Not even freedom of movement will keep you totally safe, but still, you're an amazing tank, and forcing attacks on yourself will provide great results. For the ranged enemies that aren't affected by your incredible reflect damage, catch them with cantrips as they sit there trying to figure out how they're supposed to crack your shell. Running up to them with an interesting weapon effect in your main hand will allow you to utilize that slot as well, provoking opportunity attacks that might be the right play when they inevitably try to get away from you. Other than that, the build speaks for itself. It's less good in a full team, as enemies will just choose your teammates as targets the hard majority of the time, but you're still a wizard with 12th level caster slots. I trust you'll figure something out. Anyway, I do hope to catch you in the next one, and as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be safe, guys.